Hey, hi. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to our channel, the AI Forensicator version 2, where we are trying to cover the living of the land binaries in 30 days. So today's our day 2 and we are studying CertUtil binary today. As the name suggests, the CertUtil is used for certification utility where this util will be checking the certificates of the process and programs whether they are legitimately signed by Microsoft or not, or any other similar the program providers if they are certified or not. So let's quickly check a few normal usages of CertUtil. So this is one of CertUtil-URL. If I try to run this command, it will show this tool which checks for the Microsoft CertUtils certificates for the programs which are already available. Now this tool which downloads the certificates from the Microsoft website can be misused by threat actors to download a payload. I've done a very simple execution where URL cache is nothing but it downloads from the URL's cache, not the URL directly. And -f is used for forced. It downloads from this website and names it as payload.exe on your machine. Now system32 is not allowed, so I think it should give you an error because it's not allowed to download anything there. Yeah, right. So on a writable directory, it will be done. Now next I want to showcase you this part will be used for downloading of any malicious content. Now a second example of it is, see, I have to create a file named add content certificate1.txt. Okay, I'm adding this comment to it. Now if I want to see what is the content of this file, very simple, just /certificate1.txt here to see what is inside. Now if I want to encode it, I'll run this command and say encoder1.txt. So now I have encoded whatever was present inside the certificate1.txt into encoder1.txt. If I want to see the content of encoded cert1.txt, this is a base64. You, if you have knowledge about CyberChef or any base64 decode tool, you can simply decode it. You can get to see the content after decoding. This is nothing but CertUtil utility which is doing this. Now say I want to decode it using CertUtil, then I can make use of this command, encoded CertUtil1 and this. Now if I again type the content of decoded cert1.txt, it will again be the decoded part of text. Now this again will be used by malicious threat actors. So it will try to encode anything that is present in malicious.txt into another file. So in order to be say there are some detections which match keywords inside the text, those will go unfiltered because of this encoded command. Now likewise decode can be used once the threat actor has enough amount of data to be exfiltrated to a C2 channel. He'll just convert the text file into an encoded text and he'll send it across to C2. And if he has downloaded any malware file, he will be able to decode it using decode.txt. Now these things are very simple. After that, integrity can be checked using hashes. So there's another feature where hash file can be compared. This is actually being used by the admins to check the hash of a new file, whether it matches from the source where it was downloaded from. As simple as that. There are two more commands which I would like to show you. Say on my personal store, if there are any keys, it will be shown here. Currently I don't have any, so it's left blank. Now there is another command which checks all my root certificates. So these are a few. Now, likewise, there are some other commands. I won't go much in depth, but this is one example that I can showcase you. CertUtil using hash file for putty.exe, SHA-256. This will be compared with the SHA of the putty.exe on Putty's website. So if that is a match, it means the file was downloaded without any tampering. So as simple as that, such things will be used by CertUtil and can also be misused. Now let's go to the detections part, how we can detect such kind of malicious behaviors in our environment. Yesterday we had seen KQL queries, so today I'll go ahead with the Sysmon event codes. Uh, one is for process creation, three is for network connections, and 11 is for file creation. At times, if you require Windows event IDs, Windows security process creation is 4688, but we'll be focusing on these three majorly today. To begin with very simple detections, first one is CertUtil as downloader, where one is for process creation. So CertUtil is making use of URL cache or verify CTL in the command line, it triggers an alert. So CertUtil is downloading something from the URL cache or a verify CTL, as simple as that. The second detection is decode activity. So when CertUtil along with process name is CertUtil and along with that hyphen decode is observed, that's a decode activity. Likewise, encode CertUtil along with hyphen encode is encode. These are very simple detections. We'll go to high fidelity ones as we go further. Now, Office apps swapping CertUtil. So this is majorly used in phishing kind of activities where from an email, CertUtil will be uh, run majorly through the Office apps. So parent processes being Windows, Word, Excel, Outlook, or PowerPoint, and the process executed from these, if CertUtil, then triggers an alert. Likewise, next detection being browser launching CertUtil. So if Chrome or Edge or Firefox is creating a process, CertUtil then triggers an alert. As simple as that. Next one, script engines launching CertUtil. Again, instead of browser, if the PowerShell, WScript, CScript, or MSHTA are spawning CertUtil, then triggers an alert. Now we are coming to moving to more fidelity. CertUtil network connections. If you are observing CertUtil network connections, it should be majorly to the Microsoft or Windows or say Google or likewise the known Oracle kind of websites which provide certificates for their respective tools. If any other URLs are being accessed based because of CertUtil, as we have seen, Sysmon 3 is for network connections. So network connections made out of CertUtil other than Microsoft or Windows, that is network connections. And then we have number three, CertUtil writing executables. So when this event code is for file creation, when CertUtil.exe is creating PLLs, PS1s, BAT, or executables, any type of executables, that's a high fidelity detection because most of the times admins never create executables out of CertUtil. So if you remember the requirement of CertUtil, it's basically to check the certificates or check the file hashes. Why would they go ahead and generate executables? So this is a high fidelity alert. Now next we have CertUtil writing to user writable locations like we had seen yesterday, run DLL32. Likewise, instead of system32, if there are the files are being written in any of these paths, app data, local, temp, downloads, then it's suspicious because whenever a program gets installed, it either gets into program files or x86 or program files, Windows, System32, likewise. But if these are the temporary paths, if it gets downloaded, that's a suspicious alert. Now, coming to our most high fidelity alerts, if there's a combination of any of the above ones, I would consider it as high fidelity. So CertUtil being used to do network connections and from there downloading a file for creation. So that I would consider as a malicious one. Now 3 is network events. So CertUtil, network events coming out of CertUtil, and 11 is for file creation. So after network events, if there is any file being created, that's a trigger for us. Now I would go for the second very high fidelity alert, which is CertUtil dropping an executable, and that executable gets run on the machine. So how we can track that? 11 is for file creation. So CertUtil get created on the device. After that, CertUtil gets executed, then it becomes a process. So process creation, if is observed after file creation, that's a second high fidelity alert. Within a span of 5 minutes, if it gets executed, yeah, that's definitely a high fidelity alert. Now, the third and the last high fidelity detection, I would say, is establishing a network connection and writing in a local path like temp app data or similar instead of system32 or high privilege directories, and then executing it in within 5 minutes. That's a very high fidelity alert. Now, same sysmon 3, which is for network events. If certutil based network events are observed, a file creation followed by that. So something is being downloaded and file is being created, which is being executed, process creation after that, within a span of 300 seconds, which comes out to 5 minutes, and it's a very high fidelity alert. So that's how CertUtil can be misused and how we can go ahead and detect it in a very high fidelity detection. Thank you for joining, and do let me know your comments how you want to go ahead with the next living of the land binary. Have a good day, good night. Thank you.